Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today I am going to be covering 10 challenging platinum trophies. I didn't really want to call it top 10 hardest as I know that difficulty can be subjective, but I think we can agree that the games on this list are very difficult. Not only will I be compiling a list of 10 hard platinums, but I'm also going to be covering the trophies that are going to be standing in your way between you and the platinum trophy. And as always, if you are enjoying the content that I am making, please feel free to subscribe and give a like, as it really does help with the YouTube algorithm, and it helps my videos get discovered more easily. Now, without wasting any more time, let's just jump into the top 10 list. Starting us off at number 10 it is Fury, currently sitting at a 0.3% earn rate on PSN. So let's quickly talk about what makes the game challenging in the first place, and that's going to be essentially defeating the game on Furia mode with an S rank. There are two endings in Fury, one good and one bad, but you have to meet the requirements for those endings. The easier of the two options though is to trigger the bad ending. The reason that this is the easier of the two, because the requirements are much less stricter. To trigger the bad ending, you have to have a final time under 3 hours and 30 minutes, no more than 40 KOs, while receiving less than 650 hits total. And when you die on a boss, the timer still carries over, so a few deaths can completely ruin the run. You will need solid reaction times and a good understanding of the boss fights if you want to attain this platinum. Coming in at number 9 is the Wipeout Omega Collection, bringing together 3 Wipeout games. One is Wipeout 2048, Wipeout HD and HD Fury. The earn rate for this platinum on PSN is currently standing at a 0.1% earn rate. There will be a few trophies in this game that you will definitely struggle with. One of them is getting an elite pass in every event in the 2048 campaign. And if that wasn't challenging enough already for you, you also have to beat Zico's time in Wipeout HD and in Wipeout 2048. And if by some miracle you are good enough to complete these challenges, you will then have to complete all tracks with a gold medal on elite difficulty. Only then will you be granted the shiny platinum trophy. You will need a complete understanding of all the track layouts as well as understanding how the drift mechanic works in the game. If you're going to go for this platinum, you better have some spare time.
That day forth, my arm changed, and a voice echoed, "Power. Give me more power."
Coming in at number 8 is Devil May Cry 4, currently sitting at a 0.5% earn rate on PSN. Let's quickly break down what kind of challenge this game is going to pose to you. There are actually quite a number of trophies that are going to be standing in your way on this one. Let's just jump into the main problematic ones. We're going to start with the fact that you have to complete Hell in Hell mode. In Hell in Hell mode you die within one hit, so if anything touches you, that's it, game over. Now although this is brutally difficult, there is some saving grace here, in that the default difficulty in Hell in Hell mode is actually set to Devil Hunter mode. At least overall, if you have a good strategy, especially on the boss fights, you should be able to overcome this. Now, after looking at the guide myself, it does strongly recommend that you take as many holy waters as you can get, as you will be able to clear out large hordes of enemies. But still, dying in one hit is pretty brutal. Oh, did I also mention that the game also wants you to complete Bloody Palace? That's all 101 levels with every character that's available in the game. So if you thought the challenge ended with just Hell in Hell mode, you'll think again. You're going to need a lot of patience, determination and skill if you are going to overcome this platinum.
They worship a demon as a god. I need more power.
"落ち込んでる時に好きとか言われたら少しくらい心動くだろう."
Coming in at number 7 on the list is Catherine, currently sitting at an earn rate of 0.4% on PSN. So where do I even start with this game? Well, for one, it's going to test your moral compass when it comes to relationship choices, as well as being an exceptionally addictive puzzle game on the side. You are also able to use a guide for this game, but I strongly recommend against it, as this will not serve you well later in the game. The reason being is that you don't want to use a guide, because you need to develop the skills that are needed to play the Babel missions later on. You're going to need a full understanding of the mechanics in this game, as well as knowing the right and wrong things to do in certain situations. Getting the trophy for completing the Babel missions is pretty much going to be the most work you will do in this game. The Babel missions are generated randomly, so you will never get a level layout more than once. And for that reason, there is no guide or walkthrough that will save you from doing this trophy. You just simply have to be good at the game. However, even if you don't intend to get the Platinum trophy, I highly recommend picking up this game anyway, as it is a really fun and unique game. Leave a comment in the video if you have got the Platinum for Catherine. Coming in at number 6 is The Elder Scrolls Online. I could cover some of the trophies that are an absolute grinding this game, but I'm not going to do that. All I'm going to talk about today is one specific trophy for this game, just one, and that is the Emperor trophy. If anybody has tried to platinum this game, they must go into it thinking that this is almost next to impossible. I'm not surprised this is currently sitting at a 0.1% earn rate on PSN. Even on PSN profiles at the time of this recording, there has only been 71 players that have attained the platinum for this game. Yes, you heard me correctly, 71. Less than 100 people in the world currently have the platinum for this game. I hear you all asking, Omega, what is the Emperor trophy? Well, it's kind of an easy feat when I think about it. I mean, all it requires you to do is be the strongest player in all of Tamriel on your server. That's it. Just the strongest player in your entire server in all of Tamriel. All joking aside, I can't even imagine trying to get this platinum, it must be brutal. I can't even imagine how long this took some players to achieve.
Crash Bandicoot, you banished me to the past. But all it did was give me more time to plan your doom.
Coming in at number 5 is Crash Bandicoot 4 It's About Time. Finally, the marsupial makes his return in Crash 4. This game is currently sitting at a 0.4% earn rate on PSN. Even after a first glance at the trophy list, I was assuming this game was going to be around a 9 out of 10 difficulty. Let's talk about what makes this game a lot harder to platinum than its predecessors. Unlike previous Crash Bandicoots, the gold relic will not be enough for the time trials this time around. In this version of the game, you are going to need a platinum relic on all of the levels in the time trial mode. Yes, you heard correctly, a platinum relic in all of the time trial modes. Now, if this was the only hard trophy, then at least you could be done with this and call it a day. But in Crash Bandicoot 4, that is simply not enough. The game has also asked you to get a perfect relic on each level as well. The perfect relic requires you to 100% each of the levels without dying on them. Now bear in mind, even if you have done a base completion of this game, you know how tough the harder levels are later on, especially when it comes to the last 5 or 6 levels. Anyone that attains this platinum has the right to say that they are a godlike player at Crash Bandicoot.
How many times have you beaten this clown anyway?
3.
Really? Only 3? Funny. Seemed like more.
Welcome back to America's #1 game show.
My brothers and sisters of the
Coming in at number 4 is Wolfenstein 2 The New Colossus, with another 0.1% earn rate over on PSN. I would argue that when it comes to first person shooters, this is probably one of the most prestigious platinums on this list. The legendary trophy that will need to be acquired to complete this platinum is none other than the famous Mein Leben trophy, which inflicts permadeath on the player in the story mode. The story clocks in at around 5 to 6 hours, so anytime you die in that playthrough you have to start the game all over again from scratch at level 1. I have heard a lot of nightmare stories when it comes to Wolfenstein 2's platinum. I have even watched a few live streams where people have flat out given up on it because it's that difficult. If you are serious about this platinum, I would highly suggest that you look at strategy guides and walkthroughs, because you're going to need all the help you can get in tackling this difficulty. I have nothing but the highest amount of respect for people that have attained this platinum. If you have obtained this trophy, then you are sitting in a minority of the most elite players at this game.
night. They burn.
Coming in at number 3 is Super Meat Boy, clocking in at a 0.2% earn rate on PSN. This platinum has become quite famous amongst PlayStation trophy hunters. The game requires an incredible amount of dexterity and skill to be able to acquire the platinum. So what makes this trophy list so hard to complete in the first place? Let's start with the fact that you do have to complete this game 100% to unlock the Golden God trophy. And then after the 100%, you are going to have to complete something that's even more challenging, something that makes trophy hunters shake in sheer terror at the sight of it, and that is having to complete all 12 worlds without dying on each world. And since each world has 20 levels each, that means that you've got to complete all 20 levels within that world without dying on any of them levels. The amount of mental stamina and mechanical skill this will take is astronomical. If you are able to obtain the platinum in this game, you will be held up in the air like a god amongst men. While you are walking around, trophy hunters will throw rose petals at your feet as you walk. You will be treated like a king amongst the trophy hunting community. If you can attain this platinum, you are truly a super meat boy. Coming in at number 2 we have Devil May Cry 5. Yes, this is the second Devil May Cry entry on this list, and with good reason. Clocking in at a 0.4% N rate on PSN. In my opinion, outside of the number 1 game that I'm going to mention in just a moment, I do genuinely think that this is the second hardest platinum on PlayStation 4. The requirements for the platinum are just absolutely insane. So just like Elder Scrolls Online, I'm only going to talk about one trophy, and that is Worthy of Legend. If you want this trophy, you are required to beat all difficulties with an S rank. Unlike Devil May Cry 4, when you only had to beat the base difficulties, this game requires you to get the S rank on every single mission, on every single difficulty, including the return of Hell and Hell mode. Not only have you got to complete the levels in Hell and Hell mode, but you've got to complete them efficiently too. Trying to flex on the enemy while getting an S rank and not dying is absolutely insane. I think at this point almost any trophy hunter would agree that Devil May Cry 5 definitely deserves a spot in the top 5 list. And if you are one of the elite players of Devil May Cry 5, this is definitely one of the proudest platinums you can possibly have on your shelf.
You're up, crew cut. You taking notes?
And here it is, the moment you've all been waiting for. The number 1 spot goes to Crypt the Necro Dancer, sitting in at a surprisingly 0.4% N rate. I almost feel at this point this game needs no introduction anymore, as it's become the hardest platinum on PS4 to earn. Even at the time of this recording, less than 10 people on PSN profiles have been recorded to attain this platinum. Not only does this clock in at a 10 out of 10 difficulty, but it takes most people 800 to 900 hours to accomplish the tasks that are in this game. When there is less than 10 people that have been recorded to have the platinum for this game, you know it is one of the rarest trophies on PlayStation 4. If there was ever a platinum trophy that I would not even attempt, it would be this game. Out of any other title that has been shown in this list, this is the only game that I would truly never try to attempt to platinum. Having to play this game for the dedicated amount of hours you do is sheer madness. But saying that, if you are the type of player that likes to torture yourself and struggle, then feel free to give this a go, although I do not recommend trying to do this platinum. Just don't say I didn't warn you. If you made it through the whole video, I wanted to say a massive thank you. I appreciate anybody that puts time aside and watches these videos. Remember, if you did enjoy the content, please feel free to subscribe and give me a like. Also, in the comments section, please feel free to agree or disagree with the list, as I do enjoy talking about what other games could have made it. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.